And the music and that little graphic means it's time for the international papers here on France 24. Now, you're talking about the shooting in Colorado, aren't you? Continues to get an awful lot of attention in the papers. The main suspect in court in Denver yesterday.
That's right. It's on the front page of The Independent, where you see a photo of the 24-year-old James Holmes when he appeared in court, and it says, "Silent in court, the Joker killings suspect." And this story is still getting a lot of shock and grieving in the international papers, and I think it's best summed up by a cartoon I found in the China Daily, where you see a Batman crying, mourning this nightmare in Denver, as it calls it. But after the initial shock and grieving, a lot of papers are also turning their attention to gun culture and gun laws in the United States. For instance, there's an very interesting article in The Guardian that explores just how easy and how user-friendly it is to buy weapons and ammunition online. For instance, huge amounts of rounds can be bought online, shipped straight to the customer's door, no questions asked. For instance, they went on one website that's called Bulk Ammo and found that you can buy 1,000 rounds similar to the ones that Holmes allegedly used, cost $250, so 25 cents a round.
Wow, and a lot of the papers also calling on US politicians to address this. Of course, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, they've been very quiet, haven't they?
That's right. This is the editorial in the Washington Post that says, after the collective grieving, it's time to ask the tough questions, and is upset that President Obama and Romney haven't done this. They say that their silence is discreditable, and it points the finger of blame at the NRA, so the National Rifle Association, whose, quote, political firepower stifles any serious discussion on gun control. And what this article says is no gun law is going to stop every massacre, but there's certain laws that could have stopped this one. For instance, making buying ammunition online illegal, what we were just talking about, or prohibiting selling assault rifles that have high-capacity magazines. For instance, the ones that was allegedly used in this one could fire 60 rounds a minute. Now, there used to be a law that banned such weapons, but it expired in 2004, and there's a similar call in the Denver Post in their editorial. They're also calling not on an overhaul of America's gun laws, but of very specific ones that could have avoided this massacre. For instance, outlawing high-capacity magazine rifles.
Okay, another story in the papers, of course, the attacks in Iraq yesterday, reportedly carried out by al-Qaeda, and it's especially worrying given the unrest in Syria.
That's right. This is a piece in The Guardian that says if you take this in isolation, it's already worrying enough, but it's even more serious in perspective of what's happening in Syria. It says, according to this article, there's a real risk of sectarian violence and spillover in the region, and there's growing concern that the growing vacuum in Syria could leave the door open for al-Qaeda. In fact, al-Qaeda leaders are saying that this is an opportunity for them. This could be their moment. And according to this article in The Guardian, intelligence officials have already seen some jihadists crossing from Iraq into Syria.
And speaking about Syria, an interesting piece, this is the Wall Street Journal, talking about what US officials are doing.
That's right. Now, the US and Obama have been drawing a lot of criticism for not doing enough in Syria to get rid of Bashar al-Assad. But according to this article in the Wall Street Journal, the US has been mounting a secret but limited effort to speed up his fall. Now, this includes passing intelligence, stopping arms and fuel from being shipped from Iran to Syria, and also one key centerpiece of what they talk about is they got Iraq to close their airspace to Iranian flights going to Syria that were allegedly carrying flowers, but according to the CIA, they were carrying arms.
And finally, you picked out this piece in The Guardian. This is fascinating. It's about the Olympic security.
That's right. It's written by the secret security guard. So the writer, whose identity is secret, is due to join the G4S security firm that's in charge of the Olympic security. And he describes the training he did for this job. And according to this article, it's far from sufficient. It's quite chilling, actually. He describes 4 days of training, which was mainly looking at PowerPoints. And every now and then they would get to practice what their job was going to do, about 20 minutes. And during one exercise, he says, it was easy to miss something, and I did, and it was a bomb in the bag that he was supposed to be checking for this exercise. Quite a chilling tale. He says he did learn a couple things, for instance, how to spot a terrorist, but it's rather unclear what that exactly means, how to hit somebody and avoid being caught by the police. So, as you can imagine, I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about the security in the days to come.
It's written on their forehead, terrorists, the words very clearly. All right, Florence Villeneuve, thank you very much with the international papers here on France 24. Stay with us.